What's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So, all right, weigh-ins are done. We are less than 24 hours away from what will be the most anticipated matchup in the UK between Chris Eubank Jr., son of Chris Eubank Sr., and Conor Benn, son of Nigel Benn. All right, so it was a little controversy today. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. But what's a big-time event without controversy, right? Chris Eubank Jr. has missed weight by not 0.5, but 0.05, all right? Now, according to Eddie Hearn, what happened was the Team Eubank wanted the weigh-in to be, I believe, at 10 o'clock in the morning this is all on UK time, so 10 in the morning, and what was it? But the weigh-in was set for 11, but Chris Eubank or Team Eubank wanted it at 10 or something like that, and the British Board of Boxing pretty much denied it and said, nah, the weigh-in is going to be at 11 or whatever. Or it was either the weigh-in was at 10 and the weigh-in was at 11 and Team Eubank wanted it at 10, or the weigh-in was at 10 and Team Eubank wanted it at 9. One of those. But either way it goes, they said Chris arrived an hour late to the weigh-in. So what happens is, normally when you weigh in, right, and you miss weight, you have like a 2-hour time span to lose that weight, right? And Chris Eubank, he came in an hour late. So he only had like an hour or something like that. So, he just, I don't know what happened, but being Chris Eubank was fined $500,000. Now, I don't have a horse in this race. I don't think highly of Chris Eubank as I just think that I don't really think that he's trying to fight the best. I think he's just trying to get opportunities or whatnot. Conor Benn seems to want, somewhat want legacy or whatnot. I don't know. I don't know. But however, I think that's very pricey for it to be 0.5. And I think it was Steve Collins. Shout out to Steve Collins. If you know your boxing and you know about Steve Collins in the super middleweight division or whatnot, Steve Collins made a valid point. Like, bro, 500,000, like, to be fined 500,000 for a point being 0.5 over 0.5 pounds, like, or ounce, whatever. I don't even know how to. He was 0.5 ounces overweight, like, or whatever. So, like, he was 160.05 pounds, like, and to be fined 500,000 for that, like, that's crazy. And like I said, shout out to Steve Collins, because he made the most valid point. Like, bro, I could see if this was for a title, right? I can see if this was for the title, but this is not even a title fight. So it's like, to be fined that much and this is a non-title fight, like, what? I don't understand that, right? It is what it is. I personally, I wouldn't even be tripping over that. Like, fam, whatever. It is what it is. This fight is gonna bring a lot of excuses. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Based off the fact that if Chris Eubank loses, the first thing he's gonna say is he drained himself to make the weight, and on top of that, it's a 10-pound rehydration clause for the next day. Now, here's the thing that gets me though, because Eddie Hearn made a valid point, and I believe Conor Benn made this point too, bro. It's not like they had Chris at the original weight during the first time they were about to fight, which was at 157. It's not like you had to come down to 157. Like, bro, you've been fighting at 160. So it's like, this is your weight. So what excuses? And that's what was kind of getting me about the whole situation. It was like, fam, like, Chris keeps on putting this narrative talking about, oh, I gotta kill myself to come down. Like, fam, you've been fighting at 160 like damn near your whole career. Like, at least for the past, when was the last time Chris Eubank fought at 168? Matter of fact, let me Google that. All right, now here we go. We on BoxRec. Let's BoxRec. Okay, look, yeah, just what I thought. Okay, the last time dude fought at 168 was against James DeGale. So and that was in 2019. So it's like, bro, like how, I mean, now granted, yeah, you might have outgrown the weight. I mean, that's definitely possible. He's 35 years old. I mean, it's possible, but it's like, you can't, bro, when you've been fighting at 160, I mean, you can't sit here and say that they're bringing you down to 160. I mean, trying to make it seem like this is something new and you've been fighting at this. It is possible that he's outgrown the weight. Cool. But it just leaves, this fight has excuse written all over it, bro. Conor Ben, should Conor Ben lose, the first excuse he's gonna have is, well, I had to move up to 160. You know, I'm a welterweight. You know, cause and they've been riding on that this entire camp, bro. You know, it's you know, Chris Eubank, I mean, Conor Ben has been criticized. Chris, you're fighting the welterweight. You're fighting, fam, shut up, bro. Like, we know that you're a welterweight, but fam, you agreed to take this fight, so don't try to put that as an excuse. Now, you knew he was a middleweight when you signed a contract. I don't like hearing stuff like that, but I'm telling you, bro, this is gonna be the fight of excuses. That's what the title of this fight should have been. But anyways, so I normally like doing my predictions after the weigh-in, because the weigh-in will tell me a lot, right? Now, at one particular moment, I was saying, well, the longer the fight lasts, the worse it's going to be for Conor Ben, seeing how Chris Eubank is the naturally bigger guy, and that size will come into play, especially like around the second half. So I was thinking, like, it would be wise for Conor Ben to try to get Chris Eubank out of there, in the early rounds. However, now that we have this, I don't know. I feel like Conor Ben doesn't have to. The pressure. Conor Ben doesn't have to have the pressure of trying to get him out early in the rounds or whatnot. Chris Eubank, I think he might be drained in this fight. He can only rehydrate up to 10 pounds the morning. Now, he can obviously, after that, he can eat whatever he wants to eat. And so I don't know. Eddie Hearn said he feel like he'll be like 177 coming into the night of the fight. I don't know, but with him killing himself to make 160 and still not making it, and then having a rehydration clause, I don't know how fresh Chris will be the night of the fight. You know what I'm saying? So while, that is the truth, I don't know. I mean, this is kind of, I don't know, man. So I want to pick Conor Ben. And you know what? I think that's what I don't know, man. I feel stupid picking Conor Ben, but that's what I'm gonna do. This is a weird fight, man. Like I said, Chris being a bigger man, naturally you would want to, and I think I did pick Chris Eubank to win. Just because he's the bigger man, not because he's the better boxer or anything like that. Just because solely he's the bigger man coming into the fight. But I just don't know, bro. I really don't know, and I guess that's one of the reasons why I'm so interested in this fight, because there's so many factors around this fight. And that's why I want to see you guys' prediction. I want to hear y'all prediction or whatnot. I'll put it like this. I'm gonna put a safe bet out there, right? I'm gonna put a safe bet out there. So a safe bet, I can't really take full credit. I can't take credit at all. Like, I hate when people try to brag about having a safe bet, right? And what a safe bet is basically I'm saying, like, okay, if this doesn't happen, then this person will win. Or if like I'm not picking with somebody, I'm not just solely picking somebody, so I'm gonna make a safe bet and say, if the weight doesn't have an effect on Chris, then I think Chris will win. But if the weight and the weight clause, a rehydration clause, has an effect on Chris, which I know that sounds like hella cliche, like duh. But if it is a bother for Chris, then I would pick Conor by stoppage. I think Conor will stop Chris Eubank or whatnot. But I don't think Chris Eubank will stop Conor Benn, just because I don't think this is going to be Chris at 100% with just with everything that's going on or whatnot. And again, this is a safe bet, so I can't bet on it. Like, I can't stand, like, for example, like, you have people that'll say, well, I don't know, fighter A can possibly make it a rough fight with fighter B, and then if fighter A wins, I told you he was gonna, like, nah, fam, you just said he can make it a rough fight. You didn't pick him, like, or they'll be like, fighter A could win, he could win, you know, but you're not picking him. You saying he could win, so if he doesn't win, then it doesn't make you look like you made the wrong prediction. And if he does win, you can sit here and say, oh, I told you. Nah, who are you picking to win, fam? That's you know, I can't stand when people try to brag off of safe bets. Anyway, so yeah, but I'm making a safe bet. I ain't got nothing to brag on. I don't have a horse in this race, so it's I don't have a dog in this fight, so it don't matter to me. But you know, that's my prediction. If Chris Eubank, if the weight comes into a play, I'm gonna pick Chris Eubank by decision, and if the weight does, I'm gonna pick Conor Benn by stoppage. I got Conor Benn stopping Chris Eubank. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, drop your prediction. Who do you see winning? Who do you want to see win? But what do I know?